Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? Are you getting it? Somebody's getting it for you. What's good, people? Woo, what's good, people? It's today, but they have another week off Thursday, and it would have been said, what's good, people? Oh, the weeks are going by so fast and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. Just moving right forward. Oh, as you know, we lost another transgender woman. Well, I don't know if you know, but I want to talk in reference to violence. And I always tell people, you know, to be much more aware of your surroundings, which I always try to, you know, coach the ones who listen, those who won't, probably won't. Anyway, that being said, I want to talk in reference to a woman who was in Brazil. She's an 18-year-old transgender woman. Her name was Laura Vermont. Now, this is the thing that happened. Laura Vermont, I'll just say Laura. Laura lived with her mother and father and sister. And what happened was, she wanted to go out to a party. Now, she went out to a party on Friday, and it was on the 19th. Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, it was in Brazil. And she went to a party in Northeast Avenue, the First Avenue, one of the busiest outskirts in Eastern Zone, and this is in Brazil. And she was a very beautiful transgender woman. And I'm going to let you see what she looks like, okay? Here she goes. Okay, as you see, she's very beautiful and stuff like that. Look like a lot of life, you know. And the thing about it, what happened was, this is the story. She went out with her friends. They went to a party, allegedly. And what happened was, allegedly, the story changes, so work with me here, because I've read a lot of different articles, and the story kind of goes back and forth. And what happened was, she went to the party and stuff like that. I don't know where, somewhere amongst the party. They said that she got into an argument with another transgender woman. This is the cops. Allegedly says that she got into an argument with another trans girl. They got into a fight and stuff like that. She jumped into the car. The cops had came. She jumped into the cop car. She drove off. And as she was trying to drive off, the cops were trying to stop her. They shot her in the arm, and they shot her, you know, trying to stop her from stealing the car. Well, what happened was, someone had footage and realized that the cops were lying, that this is not at all what happened. Allegedly that she was handcuffed, and she was beaten by the cops. And she was beaten by the cops by the age of 43 years old and 22. And the thing about it was that the parents was like uneasy, because they was like, why would Laura jump into a car when she doesn't know how to drive? So why would she do that? So they did investigations and stuff like that, you know, to try to find out exactly was the story, you know, fabricated, which it was. And this is what happened to Laura as she was running down the street. And this is the person footage that they were showing of her running. Okay? Here's the video right here.
O que foi, João? Não me resolve depois que eu pedir perdão. Você é pai, você sabe como é que é. O que foi que você sabe como é que é? Você ainda vai passar o sofrimento. Vai.
As you see, she was bloodied up from the back of her head, and from what was saying, you know, as far as the video, you know, you see the people that were up. I don't know if that was a police station or not, but one story said that the police officers beat her up. The other one said that, you know, that she was trying to get away. Stories kept changing quite a few, what makes them, you know, makes a person question. The story keeps changing. Now this is a picture of the police vehicle right here. Okay, now that's a vehicle that she's supposed to. Now, one story said that she was stabbed. You know, regardlessly of what the stories are saying, she was murdered. And she did not deserve to die the way she died. You know, and they started petitions, to try to find exactly what happened. I don't know. The thing about it against me is like, where were your friends? Like, why was she out there by herself? And I have to question, the person that was in the vehicle. When you're seeing somebody running down the street, they're looking at you, and they're desperately in need of help. Why didn't you help her? This is a human being. Forget what anything as far as, I don't like those people. That's a human being. And the thing about it is like, I guess I'm asking people to care about other people. So I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking for too much when you see another human being bleeding to death and they look like they're about to die in front of you, and instead of you helping them, you filming them. But I guess that's the world we live in right about now. Anyway, that took place in Brazil. And they saw the videotape, they saw that the story did not go with what the cops had said. They arrested both of the cops, which they're now released on bail. And I guess they're going to do an investigation and stuff like that. Now, also doing an investigation as far as, me looking into this story, I learned that there was something that people online who signed up to this account, and it's called TIRF. Now, I never heard of this before. It's some type of organization, I'm assuming. It's some type of organization where you can sign up on this account. And if you know anything more about this, you can always put in my inbox and let me know, because I don't know everything, trust me. And I always like when, you let me know, because I don't know, exactly everything. Anyway, so it's called TERF, and this is called Trans Exclusionary Radical Facts Feminists. And basically it's some type of place where they sign on, and you could go up underneath this account, and you could basically attack people, and they can't find out who it is, the person who done all this stuff. I don't get it. I don't get it, and my heart goes out to Laura, rest in peace, and I don't know. But this is in Brazil, and I was reading, in reference to, what was going on in that, and they were saying that a lot of times people from America and other countries and stuff feel as though Brazil is such a great place until they said they're very hard on transgenders down there, and they said a lot of transgenders are murdered by the police. I didn't know that. I'm staying out of Brazil. Anyway, that being said, rest in peace. My heart goes out to the family. Anyway, that being said, moving on to the next story, which is Bobbi Kristina. Bobbi Kristina was in a relationship with her allegedly husband, which was not her husband, and her boyfriend. Now, this is what's going on now, and they're stating that Bobbi Kristina was beaten by her boyfriend. Now, Nick Gordon, that's his name. She was beaten by him, and he had allegedly grabbed her, beat her lots of times, stuff like that. And I was trying to figure out, I said, well, who's coming forth with the story? Because I guess they don't feel as though, she's going to make it through Home Spice. I guess I'm not sure about that as well. Is it a resting place or where people are about to die, or is it more like a nursing home? I don't know. But I saw a little interview and stuff like that where her friends came forward, I guess, to let people know, because she was trying to be a good friend and not betray Bobbi Kristina on telling her personal business to the media. Because, when you're a celebrity and stuff like that, the media can be very mean. So basically, I want you to see this video and hear the story within itself. Okay?
What sorts of things would he do to her? He was known to choke her, throw her into walls, punch her in the jaw, like just unbelievable stuff.
Well, those startling details are from one of Bobbi Kristina Brown's closest friends.
What you just heard is part of Juliana's shocking new interview with that friend, Alex Reed. She's opening up about what Bobbi Kristina told her about her boyfriend, Nick Gordon.
Yeah, this comes just days after a lawsuit was filed by Bobbi Kristina's conservator, which claims Nick abused her. Juliana has more in this E! News exclusive.
I know this is a really tough time. What are just your feelings overall about what has happened to your friend? Well, obviously when the news first came out, it was shocking. And it was a lot of tears, tons of crying. I was just thinking it was a dream and praying that somehow it was just a rumor mill, and I was immediately reaching out to her.
Kristina Brown's close friend Alex Reed emotional as she remembers that fateful day in January when Chrissy was found unresponsive in a bathtub inside her Georgia home.
What was the first thing that went through your head as far as what happened? What really happened? Sorry, I chills. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
When Alex first became friends with Bobbi Kristina 2 years ago, Chrissy opened up to her about her relationship with Nick Gordon.
Pretty soon after we met, she started telling me, about the times when he had been physically abusive. And it just kept really escalating. It just kept getting worse and worse.
So she admitted that to you, and you were a newer friend of hers. Do you feel like she was looking for someone to to talk to about this, to help her in some way?
She was always looking, for somebody to connect to, and especially after she lost her mom, she used to tell me, like, Alex, there's no one in the world who loves me. Like, there's no one who just loves me. She's like, my mom, she's like, I used to just lay in my mom's arms in bed and just know that I was loved. And she's like, and now, she's like, now there's nobody who loves me, there's nobody I can trust, there's nobody I can talk to.
How many times would you say you had a conversation where she was distraught or brought up that Nick was being abusive to her?
I can think of 4 really extreme instances. She would call me, and if I didn't answer, it would be, Alex, I need you. Like, Alex, please call me right now. And I could tell it was urgent, and of course I would call, and that's when she would be crying, and I couldn't even understand the words coming out of her mouth. She'd just hyperventilate, and I remember being on the phone for 3 hours of her hyperventilating, just sitting there with her talking about she's in her mom's closet, and she's hyperventilating, and I can't understand a word out of her mouth.
And she would go in her mom's closet. Was that a place where she would find a little peace and comfort?
Yes, exactly.
And what sorts of things would he do to her?
He was known to choke her, definitely, throw her into walls, punch her in the jaw, like, just unbelievable stuff. It was like this off-the-handle temper. And I would always ask her, like, what started this? Where did this come from? And it would always just be nothing. Like, it would always be something really small that you would argue with somebody about normally in a relationship, but he just couldn't control himself.
Okay, you see that story? In reference to her friend, she's coming out speaking. I guess she wants to get it off her chest to let them know exactly, allegedly Nick may have something to do with that. And I had said that before when it came down to Whitney Houston. I said, I kind of wonder how she ended up in the tub just like Bobbi Kristina. This is like a copycat murder, and here it is, Nick is in the midst of it all again, allegedly. It's funny because when he was on Dr. Phil, he was acting real frantic. And if you want to see, you could easily go on YouTube or, Google Dr. Phil with Nick Gordon, and see exactly how he was acting crazy. He was rubbing back and forth and stuff like that. It seemed like a person who had something to hide. Anyway, that being said, my heart goes out to Bobbi Kristina. How I feel about that. And, one last note was, I guess I'll leave that for tomorrow, because it's, it's kind of morbid, this whole video. Anyway, that being said, I want to know how you feel about that. Like I always tell you, I understand everybody wants to have a man, but sometimes you have to be selective of your choices. And it's sad because Bobbi Kristina didn't feel as though anybody loved her and stuff like that, and she felt like her only person loved her was her mother. And it's such a sad, alarming thing when it gets down to that. Anyway, that being said, what are your opinion on this, and how do you feel about these stories? And I want to say thank you. I want to say hello, all new people. Boom. I want to say old people. Bam. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I want you to do you. I want you to do the best with it you can. And if nobody don't like it, then fuck them.